Good morning, Belen. I'm Brandon Lubian.
And I'm Marcos Elos, and welcome to this edition of WBLN for today, September 6, 2017.
So as many of you may know, Belen and much of South Florida is preparing for Hurricane Irma's impact. The school has followed the lead of the Miami-Dade Public Schools and will be closed tomorrow and Friday. Here with us is our very own Irma expert, Alex Suarez.
So Alex, what can you tell us about the storm since the 8 a.m. advisory has just rolled in?
So since the 8 a.m. advisory, the storm is still at a Category 5. It's still far from Florida. So right now, we're seeing sustained winds of 185 miles per hour with wind gusts going even higher than that. Right now, it just passed over St. Mark's Island, and it's still heading west and northwest towards Florida. So as of now, if you want to prepare yourself for the storm, you're going to want to fill your car up with gas. You want to get water, supplies, stuff like that to last you about 3 days or more. Listen to evacuation protocols. If your area is in a flood warning, take precautions. Now let's take a look at your local weather. So today we have a high of 92 degrees and a low of 80. The relative humidity is 72%. Winds coming from the east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. There are scattered thunderstorms and a precipitation level of 40%. Tomorrow, Thursday, is a high of 91, a low of 81 degrees with thunderstorms and a 60% chance of rain. Friday, there's a high of 90 degrees and low of 80 degrees with scattered thunderstorms and a 40% chance of rain. Saturday is a high of 88 and a low of 81 degrees with rain and wind and a 60% chance of rain.
Thank you, Alex. You need to be very careful and look out for that storm, and we really hope the Belen community stays safe.
Today to announce that the program known as DACA that was effectuated under the Obama administration is being rescinded.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions announces the Trump administration is putting an end to the Deferred Actions for Childhood Arrivals program that is currently protecting about 800,000 so-called dreamers from deportation. The program provided legal status for undocumented immigrants who enter the U.S. as children.
Well, I have a great heart for the folks we're talking about, a great love for them. And people think in terms of children, but they're really young adults.
Former President Barack Obama took to Facebook to lambaste Trump for repealing DACA, calling the move cruel. President Trump is putting the onus on Congress to come up with a plan over the next 6 months.
I have a love for these people, and hopefully now Congress will be able to help them and do it properly. And I can tell you, in speaking to members of Congress, they want to be able to do something and do it right.
Members from both parties are responding.
These children basically have no place to go other than America. And here's the good news for America. You should want them to stay.
We need to pass in this month of September a DREAM Act, a permanent law in this country.
The announcement was met with protests from across the country, including outside of the Trump Tower in New York City.
The U.S. is urging the UN Security Council to pass the toughest sanctions possible on North Korea. But President of Russia Vladimir Putin said stronger sanctions will not stop Pyongyang's nuclear threats. According to Putin, more sanctions would be, quote, useless and ineffective. He suggested that the key to moving forward is dialogue. This comes against the backdrop of deteriorating diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Russia. At a Tuesday press conference, Putin was asked if he was, quote, disappointed in President Trump, and whether he had considered the possibility that Trump could be impeached.
Полагаю, что абсолютно некорректно было бы с нашей стороны обсуждать возможности развития внутриполитической ситуации в самих США. Это не наше дело, это дело самих Соединенных Штатов. Что касается разочарования или неразочарования, ваш вопрос звучит очень наивно. Он же не невеста мне, я ему тоже не невеста, не жених. Мы занимаемся государственной деятельностью. У каждой страны есть свои интересы. Трамп в своей деятельности руководствуется национальными интересами своей страны. Я своей. Я очень рассчитываю на то, что нам удастся, так же, как и говорил действующий президент Соединенных Штатов, находить какие-то компромиссы в
on behalf of my country. And I hope that we can find the compromises in solving bilateral and international problems in the interest of Russia and interest of the United States, and taking into account our mutual security.
Russian officials said Tuesday that Moscow may force the U.S. to pull an additional 155 members of its diplomatic force out of Russia.
Meteorologist Steve McLaughlin from NBC6. Obviously, the big story the last couple of days, Hurricane Irma. Want to give you some pointers what you should be doing the next few days. The first thing to tell you is please do not panic, but please be very cautious and plan ahead. This is the first giant storm in a long time that looks like it's heading right towards South Florida. As of Tuesday afternoon, winds up to 185, a strong Category 5. A couple of things to keep in mind. One of the things we tell people to do now is get gas in your car. If you're told to evacuate, please listen to those evacuation orders. If a mandatory evacuation is issued for your area and you don't leave, you're putting other people's lives at risk if they have to come in and save you. We could be dealing with not just wind and power outages, but heavy flooding rain falling from the sky and that storm surge, flooding rain coming in from the ocean. We tell people to have 3 days supply of food and water in case the power goes out. We tell people to have extra batteries for flashlights. Have your vaccines and your medications taken care of over the next couple of days so you don't have to worry about that over the weekend if your pharmacy is shut down. As far as your pets go, make sure that they're taken care of, that they have enough food and water for the next few days. But the bottom line is this is our time to prepare. This is our time to get ready for this storm. It looks like it could be very close to South Florida on Saturday into Sunday. And if it is as strong as it has the possibility to be, and we're without power for several days, this could be something that really affects things right into next week as well. So again, a real pointer here is please do not panic, but please be prepared. Tell your parents to be prepared as well. Here at NBC6, obviously, we're going to be keeping an eye on the storm over the next few days. Everyone, please stay safe. I'm meteorologist Steve McLaughlin.
Sports today. Last week, the Wolverines played the Gulliver Raiders trying to get their second win of the regular season at home. The game was highly contested all game, with both teams managing to tie it up multiple times. With an impressive field goal block from Bobby LaCosta, the Wolverines had a 1-point lead early in the fourth. However, the Raiders were able to score and keep the Wolverine offense from scoring, leading to a final score of 21-26. As of now, their next game will be postponed due to the hurricane, so make sure to check our Twitter for updates. Belen defeated Miami Sunset 3-0 in bowling, so be looking out for that bowling team throughout the season. The Belen varsity golf team lost a close match to Gulliver by a score of 158-159. The leading Belen scorer was Manu Romero with a score of 37. The Belen B team defeated Archbishop McCarthy's JV team by a score of 199-213. The leading scorer for Belen was Andres Grande with a score of 46, followed by Carlos Iglesias with a score of 49. The middle school golf team defeated Gulliver by a score of 173-206 this past Thursday, August 31st. The team was led by Mateo Stickler with a score of 42, followed by Robbie Lizama, Adrian Rodriguez, and John Bohatch, which scored 43 and 44 respectively. As for the Dolphins, due to the Hurricane Irma, their season opener will most likely not be played Sunday against the Buccaneers. The NFL is currently debating whether the game should either be played in a neutral field or November 19th when both teams have a bye week. In the event that Irma does minimal damage to Hard Rock Stadium, the league might allow for the game to be played Monday night, but as of now, a decision has not been reached. Now on to your fantasy update with Mario Fernandez.
What's up? I'm back with your fantasy update. Looking at some good running backs for week 1. Orlando Garcia asks who to start, Darren McFadden or Paul Perkins. Both starting for their respective teams, but Darren McFadden is behind an amazing offensive line who will give him a lot of room in week 1. With Ezekiel Elliott out for the first 6 weeks, Darren McFadden is a must-add in all fantasy leagues. Another running back you want to look at is Jaquiz Rogers, with Doug Martin suspended in week 1. Be careful with starting Dolphins players because of Hurricane Irma. They might not play this week. Good luck in week 1 and catch us next week on the Fantasy Show.
That's all for sports. Now back to you guys.
Before we go, stay tuned to our Facebook, Twitter for Irma updates. Now that's all your news for today. I'm Brandon Lupian.
And I'm Marcos Salas. And from everyone here at WBLN, have a wonderful day and stay safe, Wolverines.